I want to talk about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Two of the leadership of the MAGA Nazi cult that seems to be permeating the Republican Party. Oh, did I say permeating? I meant that is leading the Republican Party. Candace Owens is a crazy, dangerous bitch. I shouldn't say crazy. That bitch knows exactly what she's doing. So does Tucker Carlson.
Candace Owens is a keen observer of all of this. She hosts a great podcast. She joins us tonight with Reaction. Candace Owens, I would love to see someone die in this country without getting a lecture posthumously. Oh, you died of smoking. You died because you didn't get the facts. You died because you drive an SUV. Can't we just acknowledge death as a sad thing, give it the reverence it deserves, and move on?
We're going to talk about politicizing death? My God, Fox News has been talking about nothing but shootings for the last 18 months.
Violent videos, some are hard to watch. Who could forget this horrific shooting? A gunman opening fire on a Bronx street. 2 children are caught between the gunman and his target. The shooter just continues shooting.
One of the suspects was seen on surveillance video pulling a gun on a 32-year-old woman as she was returning home from shopping. Then moments later, a second suspect arrived. Police say they struck the woman in the face. They tied her up, stealing $19,000.
This one, you see a woman being kicked from behind. As she walks down the step, she is then hit over the head with a hammer as many as 13 times as she is shoved to the ground and robbed.
So these crimes are so appalling. They're attacks not just on individuals, but against civilization and humanity itself, that they at this point really do require an immense and organized civil disobedience campaign. So just pick one of those videos at random. Who's the politician who decided that attacker had more rights than the old lady he was beating up? Why aren't 15,000 people blocking that person's office or chaining themselves to the front door?
My God, it's a tragedy. Aren't we allowed to mourn and move on? Right? What the fuck ever.
Of the Democratic Party because they're utter sociopaths and psychopaths, and when they see these tragedies take place, by the way, this is the same methodology that takes place with school shootings. You would think that we could mourn and we can be sad, but they say, wait a second, there are some children that are dead, so allow us to get in front of cameras and tell you why you need to give us more power. I mean, the fact that they think about their own power and consuming more power when tragedy strikes is, as I said, an example of their that they are utter psychopaths.
They appear to be motivated by racial animus. They do. That's just true. But there are so many videos of it. Consider the horrific attack, really an attempted murder, on a student at Westbrook High School in Beaumont, Texas. He was really recently beaten and nearly killed in a bathroom at school. What did he do wrong exactly? We don't know. We can only guess. But here's the tape. So that just can't be allowed in a civilized country. We cannot allow that or anything like it to happen in our country. This is more important than anything else that's happening because that's someone's child.
And what's going on, obviously, is an extreme tragedy. But as you pointed out, Tucker, it is a natural tragedy. The Earth has hurricanes. If there was no human beings that walked the face of the planet, there would continue to be hurricanes, like there would continue to be blizzards, and like there would continue to be tornadoes.
Hurricanes are bigger, bitch, and there's more of them. She's educated. She knows that. She's just a lying cunt.
And like there will continue to be tornadoes. There's no lobby, in my opinion, that should be laughed at harder than the climate lobby because they just keep being proven wrong.
The climate lobby? No. The oil lobby, bitch. There is no climate lobby. Scientists don't, get together and make a deal so they can do more science. I'll tell you what, man, I'll do an 18-month study for you if you say this on TV. How ridiculous. You know who does make money on it? Oil companies. And that's where you get things like, wait for it.
Now, when I was a kid, I was told it was global warming. Hide under your desk, kids. The polar bears are going to drown because there's global warming. But they stopped using that language around 2011 because accidentally the Earth started to cool and disproved their narrative. Before my generation, by the way, Tucker, there was a generation that was told global cooling was going to spell the end of the world. Except what happened was they were proven wrong and the Earth started to warm.
global cooling. Yeah, that was never a thing, bitch. That was something that oil companies said. No one else. Well, Republicans said it because they're the grand oil party. And whatever the oil company said, by God, they're on board because that's who they are, a wholly owned subsidiary of ExxonMobil. If you're watching in Britain, BP. Don't think you're getting off, Britain. BP sucks every much as they do, man. Fuck BP. See, oil companies only destroy the planet far, far away from their home. Americans do it in the Middle East. BP did it in Louisiana.
Yeah, right. There was the ozone layer. Remember the ozone layer, the hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah.
Oops, that actually wasn't a tragedy, and so they moved on.
We fixed the ozone layer, bitch. We banned coral fluorocarbons. Remember the shit you used to spray in your hair? Remember Aquanet? Check it out. It used to have coral fluorocarbons in it, and it was destroying the ozone layer. A Democrat, Bill Clinton, banned those. The Republicans freaked out. It's horrible for business. Even though Candace just lied to you and said that it went away. No, we fixed it, bitch.
Oceans. There was going to be acidic rain because the oceans were acid. Oops, that didn't happen, and so they moved on.
Acid rain, come on, man. Not acid oceans. See, she knows that Fox News viewers are fucking stupid, so she has to pretend like she thinks the same things they do. Because if she said something that didn't make sense to them, they would lose interest and or think that she was a Democrat. Because, you know, all they know is what they've seen on that show.
That's all but guaranteed. They know that. They're not that stupid. And yet the authorities in their lives, mostly women, never stops lecturing them about their so-called privilege. You're male, you're privileged. Imagine that. Try to imagine an unhealthier, unhappier life than that. A new mayor, a lawyer called Esther Mannheim. She had the now mandatory complicated eyeglasses that all the girl bosses now wear. Well, she talked about, can you guess? Climate change and equity. And by the way, anyone who talks about climate change and equity is immediately disqualified from getting your vote. That should be the rule right there. That's like a baseline. Climate change and equity? No, sorry, you're a lunatic. Why is it continuing? Why has no one stopped it? Because there's no one to stop it. Dad's gone. There's no one in charge with a normal testosterone level who's willing to just say, no, you're not allowed to do this.
Over and over again, their climate models are a complete fraud, and yet they're still allowed to look you in the face when a natural disaster strikes and tell you, well, you know what, I know we've been wrong forever and we've never once gotten it right, but give us your money anyways. These people are sick.
Well, I completely agree with that. And in general, people's kooky theories don't bother me. You can be a flat earther, a circumcision activist. Well, you can be whatever you want to be. But if you try and take over my power grid on the basis of your ridiculous theories, then I think we have a right to fight back, no?
Is Tucker under the impression that he's had control of the power grid this whole time? You stupid fuck! Tucker knows that. He's just lying to you. You know, because he gets ratings. You know, whatever. Candace Owens getting groomed. She's gonna be the next Alan Keyes. See? We have a black person. We're running her for president, but they're grooming her. She's gonna end up in some Senate seat and will sit there for the rest of her life as a fucking sycophantic little Nazi cow. Oh, I'm sorry, was that sexist? She's a little fucking Nazi.
We don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned. When you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine.
Tucker, he's the propaganda minister. I, Zachariah Lone Star Liberal. And you have been watching? Thank you. Like and subscribe.
Come on, 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 come on. Don't negotiate, let's investigate, we'll accelerate, and we're taking him down.